In today's video, we're going to talk about Take Profit Traders rules, and more specifically, the two rules I get questioned about the most during the live streams. And I want to let you guys know right now, Take Profit Traders having a 30% sale off all their evaluation accounts, and best yet, no activation fee. If you click the link in the description box down below, it'll bring you to a page just like this. You can either left click where it says epitome. You can see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, it's copied it to your clipboard, or you can simply type in code epitome at checkout to make sure you always get the best deal. Now, before we go ahead and we go over these rules real quick, I want to show you guys I know the rules because I trade with Take Profit Trader. Just tonight, I passed these other two 150K accounts. I have a third 150K account only a couple $100 away, and then finally I'll have my Take Profit Trader accounts back. If you guys watched my videos a few weeks back, I lost every single funded account I had across all the prop firms out here. So let's go ahead and talk about the two main rules that I get asked about time and time again. The first one is going to be the buffer rule. And if we look at what the buffer rule is, we can click on this question mark right here, just hover over it. The buffer requirement: in order to withdraw from an active pro account, you have to be above the buffer zone. The buffer zone is equal to the maximum drawdown amount. Profits inside the buffer zone can be withdrawn from a disabled pro account. You can read more about this here. Now, we'll come back and read about how you can withdraw from a disabled pro account. But first, let's go over and look at some of the different accounts. So as we look at the buffer zone, we're going to start off with a 25K account. Right now, you can get it for $105. You can see the end of the day trailing drawdown is $1,500. So whatever the drawdown amount is, that is your buffer zone. So with Take Profit Trader, anything above and beyond $1,500 is your money to go ahead and withdraw out of the market. If you're trading the 50K account, the buffer would be $2,000 since that's the end of the day drawdown. The account that I trade, that I love with Take Profit Trader, is going to be the 150K account. So I can start withdrawing from the pro account once I'm over the $4,500 buffer zone. Now, if we scroll right back over here and we click on buffer and we click on here so we can read how can we actually withdraw money from an account that's already been disabled. You can see right here, pro account profit split and withdrawal rules. And you can read this line right here. A trader may withdraw profits inside of the buffer zone. However, this action can only be performed once the account has been terminated. So I don't know if that's such a good idea saying, hey, let me terminate the account so I can withdraw within the buffer. But if you've had the account less than 60 days, you can withdraw 50% of your profits within the buffer zone. If the account has been open greater than 60 days, then you can withdraw 80% of the profits inside of the buffer zone. Now let's talk about one of the other rules I get asked about time and time again. That is going to be the news rule. And if we look right here, the news rule is not applicable in the test account. It's only applicable in the pro and the pro plus account. Now, if we read right over here, as we hover the mouse over, all pro and pro plus accounts must be out of all positions and have no open orders 1 minute before, during, and after a major news event. This does not apply to test accounts, and you are free to trade through all news events. You can find a list of restricted news events right here. So let's go ahead and click on that right here. We're going to click where it says here. And if you look at the news rules, all pro accounts must be out of all positions and have no open orders 1 minute before, during, and after news events that follows. Meeting minutes. And so the FOMC announcement, the non-farm payrolls, which is the first Friday of every month, and the consumer price index, the CPI, which, to be honest with you, if you're trying to put a trade on anywhere around those news events, you are asking for trouble out there anyways. And it just doesn't make sense to go ahead and jeopardize your account. However, there's another way that we can check on this as well. If you log into your dashboard, so right over here, you'll see a drop down. You just simply go right to where it says calendar, and it'll bring you to a page just like this. Now we can see for the month of May, as I'm recording this video, we're actually recording the video on May 8th. You can see Friday, that May 2nd, we had the non-farm numbers. You can see they already had that highlighted. We have to be out 1 minute before, during, and after the news. Then we had the FOMC statement just yesterday on May 7th, and we only had to be out of the market 1 minute before and during the actual statement. We're going to pull up Forex Factory here in just a moment. And then next week on the 13th, we have the CPI data coming out at 8:30 a.m., which means I have to be out of all positions by 8:29, no open orders, and I can't place another trade until 8:32. Now, if we come over here and we look at Forex Factory real quick, and as we were streaming this live on stream, this is where I had a lot of questions. People are like, all right, I cannot trade the FOMC. However, what about when Jay Powell is talking during the press conference? You are all clear to trade during the press conference. That news rule only applies to the statement. So only the 2 o'clock news item, not actually the 2:30 news item. So go ahead, pencil that down so you know for next time around, because we know we have another FOMC statement coming out, I believe, next month. If we look at the calendar, next month, June 18th, you'll be well aware of that news is. So around 2 o'clock, we want to be out of all positions with no open orders. There's another rule that trips traders up quite a bit. In the test account, we have what's called the end of the day trailing drawdown. Then once we go to the Pro or Pro Plus account, we have an intraday trailing drawdown. Now, we all know at end of the day drawdown, your drawdown only moves up at the end of the closing session. So for instance, if you're trading the 50K account, you're up $1,000 on the day, then you actually have $3,000 for the rest of the day before your account would blow, since the drawdown only moves up at the end of the day. With the intraday trailing drawdown, the drawdown is going to consistently continue to move up. Now, if you want to learn more about the drawdown and how to defeat the intraday trailing drawdown, then make sure to watch this next video right here.